Dear students, I am Ahmad Noman SADIQ. Today we will discuss part 3 of the misleading concepts during topographical route planning and drawing. So here we go. Now we will actually discuss the misleading concepts regarding tunnel approach. So here is the actual confusion. Some students think that there are only 3 tunnels in the interactive map, which is also called as the topographical interactive map. Some students also think that one tunnel question will definitely come in TFL assessment. So these two assumptions are absolutely wrong. I will explain it shortly. Then some students think that the word tunnel approach must have been written before and at the end of each and every question, which is also not based on fact. I will definitely show and explain it to your satisfaction level with the help of topographical interactive map, and it would definitely be through evidences as well. Now let's see the first point, that there are only 3 tunnels in the interactive map. It's absolutely wrong. Actually, there are 3 big tunnels which pass through the river Thames. It doesn't mean that there are only 3 tunnels in the interactive map. There are also a lot of small tunnels on this topographical interactive map. Then, secondly, a lot of students think that one tunnel question will definitely be the part of TFL assessment, which is also not necessarily true. Actually, we can say that usually tunnel question includes in the exam, but it is not necessary. It's up to the TFL whether they make it as a part of exam questions or not. We are not sure. We can only make guess, nothing more than that. Now let's see the third point, which is very important. Students think that the word tunnel approach must have been written before and after the end of each and every tunnel. So it is also not based on fact. Actually, the word tunnel approach is not necessarily written before and at the end of each and every tunnel. So be careful for other tunnels. This is only true for Rotherhithe Tunnel and for the northern bound of Blackwall Tunnel. So please remember that this approach is only true, this fact is only true for Rotherhithe Tunnel and northern bound of Blackwall Tunnel. Now I am going to show you with the help of topographical interactive map. So let's see. So this is our interactive map, and first of all I will try to show you 3 main tunnels which are passing through the river Thames. So here it is. This is Rotherhithe Tunnel. Here tunnel is starting and here it is going to end. So the symbol of the tunnel, this is the symbol of the tunnel. It is actually the broken lines or dashed lines or broken patches. So with the help of these symbols, you could recognize that this is a symbol and it is passing underground. So always remember this point. Now comes the second main tunnel. This is second main tunnel, which is called as Blackwall Tunnel. So actually these are 2 tunnels. One is northbound, it is heading towards north, and the second is southbound, which is heading towards south. And now comes the third main tunnel passing through the this river Thames, and this is, here it is. So this is called as Tfl Tunnel. On one side, that is from south to north, it is a one-way tunnel. But from south to north, it is not a tunnel, it is a bridge. So always remember this point as well. So there are other several small tunnels nearby in this topographical interactive map as well. Like this is also a tunnel which is Limehouse Link, and here it is also a tunnel. It is very clear that it is also a tunnel. There are some other tunnels as well. I will show you another tunnel which is also very important, and usually it comes in the exam. So here it is. This is also a tunnel. It is passing through actually from A12. So if you are here and you want to go through this road, and this road is actually here, it is a tunnel. So you can go through this tunnel from this point to this point and vice versa. That is, you could also come from here and pass through this tunnel. So in this way, there are actually several other small tunnels in this interactive map as well. Now again, I'm showing you the Rotherhithe tunnel. And where is Rotherhithe tunnel? It is actually at this point. So it is a Rotherhithe tunnel. And remember that this tunnel is a two-way tunnel. So how could you recognize that it is a two-way tunnel? So actually, if the broken black wide lines, so these are actually the broken lines and these are wide lines. So if these wide lines, which are also the broken lines, are on both sides, so here these are on the both sides of the tunnel, then you can say that it is a two-way tunnel. And how could you differentiate it from the one-way tunnel? So here we can easily differentiate it with the one-way tunnel, because black wall tunnel, which are actually two tunnels, one is northbound and the other is southbound, and these two are actually one-way tunnel. So why it is one-way tunnel? Here the broken or dashed lines are not of same thickness on both sides. Here the broken lines are wide and here the broken lines are thin. So if this is the case, so if this broken black thick and wide line is only on the one side of the tunnel and thin broken lines are on the other side of the tunnel, then it is one-way tunnel. And remember one more thing, that thick or wide broken lines are always on the left side of your direction of travel or on the side of your journey. Similarly, you can see here, this is wide and thick black broken line and this is thin black broken line. So it is also a one way. And since the thick line is on the left side of the journey, so it means simply that your direction of travel is it is actually from north to south. You are coming from this direction to this direction. So it must be now very much clear. Now again, I am showing you the Rotherhithe tunnel. Dear students, please remember that there is only one way in and one way out for these tunnels. There is no other way to enter or leave these tunnels. That is, you could only enter and leave the tunnel from the front and back side of the tunnel and not from the sides of the tunnel. Please remember that you must use the roads called tunnel approach to enter and leave the tunnel only if it is clearly written on the roads before and at the end of the tunnel. And you are seeing very clearly that tunnel approach is written, if you are coming from this side, it is written at the start of the tunnel. So it is very clear. And here the tunnel ends. So at the end of the tunnel also tunnel approach is written. So you can only enter or leave this rather high tunnel through tunnel approach either from this side or from this side. You can't enter or leave the tunnel in between. That is, you can't enter or leave here or here, or you can't enter from here, or you can't leave the tunnel at this point. So always remember this point. Now there is an important point of concern for the students that the rather high tunnel, if I consider rather high tunnel, this is tunnel approach. Tunnel approach is written at the start and the end of rather high tunnel. Also, the tunnel approach is written here at northbound of Blackwall tunnel. So here you go. Tunnel approach is written on this tunnel only. It is also here at the end. So at the start and end of northern approach, or you can see this is northbound. So if I consider this northbound of Blackwall tunnel, then you can clearly see that only on the northbound tunnel approach is written at start and end. But if you look carefully, there is no tunnel approach at the start and at the end of southbound. So this is southbound because this tunnel is heading towards south. But here tunnel approach is not written. So here tunnel approach is not written. Tunnel approach is actually only written before and end of this northbound, or it is written at start and end of rather high tunnel. So always remember this point. But we can say that although the tunnel approach is not written on this southbound, but you can consider this portion as a tunnel approach, and this portion also you can consider tunnel approach for this southbound as well. And similar is the case with the Tfl tunnel. So we can conclude that it is not necessarily written. So we can say that tunnel approach cannot be necessarily written before and after the tunnel. Similarly, these are the smaller tunnels, and no tunnel approach is written before and at the end of these tunnels. So if you are considering these small tunnels, also tunnel approach is not written before and after the tunnels. So here again it is a small tunnel, and before this tunnel and after the tunnel approach is not written. So please note that. If you can see the other tunnel, small tunnel, you would observe that tunnel approach is not written before and after the tunnel. So we could say that tunnel approach is not always written before and after each and every tunnel. It is only true for rather high tunnel and northbound of Blackwall tunnel. So please note this point as well. Now let's see the Tfl tunnel. So if I go towards the Tfl tunnel, this is Tfl tunnel. So if you see this tunnel, so here is the tunnel approach. This is tunnel approach, Tfl tunnel approach. So you can come from this direction and enter into the tunnel. But it is very interesting to note that tunnel approach is written here. But if your starting point is here, you can even enter the tunnel from this point. So you can enter the tunnel from here. Also, you could enter the tunnel from, if you are coming from this point, so from here you can come like this and you could enter into the tunnel. So it means tunnel approach is written here. This is tunnel approach. But you could also enter the tunnel after the tunnel approach. So this is very interesting. But this is the only case with Tfl tunnel. So I am just trying to explain that it is not necessary and must for you to enter into the tunnel only after passing through the tunnel approach, as in this case, that is the case of Dartford Tunnel. So dear students, what we have concluded today. Number one, we have concluded that there are more than 3 tunnels in this topographical interactive map. This is number one. Number two, we are not sure whether tunnel question would be the part of TFL assessment. It's actually up to the TFL whether they give this question or not. But it is not must. It is not sure. And lastly, we have concluded that it is not always true for all the tunnels that the word tunnel approach must have been written before and at the end of each tunnel. But one thing must be kept in your mind, that if it is written before and at the end of the tunnel, then you must follow it. So that is the end of today's video. Until next video, thank you very much.